Welcome to The One Thing, where each episode features our signature segment, Pandora's Box. We dive into hot topics that challenge the norm and ignite real conversation.
Inspired by Greek mythology, Pandora's Box isn't just about chaos. It's about truth, transformation and hope. That's what we bring to every conversation.
Have a cause or business that deserves to be seen? Want to be remembered forevermore? Be our next special guest. Contact us today at theonething@edgeradioaustralia.com. It's Edge Radio Australia, time for The One Thing, and I'm sorry, every single time I see the intro, a little bit of me dies inside. Any self-respect I had before, it's gone. It is gone.
I love that intro. It's so funny.
Hey, it's a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Life is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm told, that's what was on the brochure, right?
That's not what your Facebook says.
My Facebook is very happy. Jeez, they're picking on me. I tell you, they're picking on me behind the scenes here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It is lovely to have my two co-hosts in the room at the same time.
Welcome back, Cotter.
And a wonderful guest who I'm not going to introduce because I'm going to do the old handball. Over to you, Lisa.
I'm still trying to work out where you want me to poke you.
There's been no poke.
There's a poke free zone.
Okay, if you need to cough, I asked you to poke me, and then it just became very sus indeed. So no.
It became very childish. I've had bronchitis for the last week or so, and I'm still struggling. So Aaron said if I need to turn my microphone off, I just needed to poke him. So I'm still...
You poked him in the wrong spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trying to get the rules around here.
Okay, all right, okay. We've established the rules. Would you like to do the intros?
Yeah, I would love to.
Lovely.
So first of all, I want to do this because I just feel like I need to. Together, we're louder.
I see what you've done there. Okay, cool.
We should have done that all together. It should never have been done just you alone.
Okay, shall we do it now? You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Together we're louder.
The case for collaboration of independent media on the One Thing Radio. Welcome to the Madhouse, Trystram Reddick.
Welcome, thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure, mate. We've obviously been down to your wonderful station down in Rockingham.
Yeah.
And
I thought I was doing the intro.
I'm just interfering. That's what I do. Okay. All right, I will back away. There we go. Cool. Continue.
So we're really happy to have Trystram Reddick here. And I actually started my radio career at Trystram's radio station.
You did this year. I'm here to actually try and bring you back.
Would it be? I'll take coffee pods. Whatever. An easy exchange.
You're going to sell me my coffee pods.
Oh no, there was no selling. It was a direct exchange.
Oh, that's
You
hilarious.
got like a brown envelope.
That's
later.
right.
Yeah.
Oh no, we do things like the politicians around here. I've got an Aldi bag full of cash.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
So the radio station that Trystram started is called IPL, and it stands for Inspiring Passionate Lives. I believe it started in 2020, or you started it in 2020.
Yeah.
And I know that Leanne has got a raft of questions to ask you.
I did have.
Yeah, well,
you stole my thunder with the 2020. I found that out, not you. Just so you know.
But there you go. I didn't know that. See, I'm learning myself as we go.
So, welcome, Tris. It's so lovely to have you here, and we're excited because there's so much now out there on what Aaron calls corporate media that people just don't get to hear because everything is so suppressed. And we are a radio station here that believes in freedom of speech, and we allow people to come in whatever their points of view are and to be able to express those. And your radio station is also independent, isn't it?
Fiercely, yeah. I mean, we first started in 2020 in COVID.
Yeah.
And I guess a backstory. So I'm a mental health trainer. I've been a mental health trainer for the last 10 years. And 2019 was good. Managed to get a few grants. Got lots of courses. 2020 started really well.
Right.
I had probably 3 or 4 courses a month lined up for the first 6 months. And I remember I was doing a course and there was a nurse. The whole kind of COVID was in the background. It was happening in China. It was a bit of a joke still. And there was a nurse in the course that said there'd been a memo from their head office that they have to take COVID seriously, and a lot of people are going to die because of this thing. So it was around about that time it really kicked off. It was a really serious
Okay.
thing.
So that'd be like March 2020 kind of
It would have been around that, March,
Yeah.
April, somewhere around there. Yeah. It must have been actually March. And we went into kind of threatened lockdown, and Mark McGowan was doing his daily things, and they were saying you can't meet in groups. And so my group training, the business just stopped overnight.
It's a bit tough all of a sudden, yeah.
A lot of my colleagues who do training went online, but I was a little bit scared of doing online training because the mental health training is can be quite triggering. And I watch people the whole 2 days, and I look out for signs that they might be deteriorating.
Yes.
And I'm there on site to be able to help them if they go in that direction. But when I'm online, I did one course where it was one camera for like 15 people, and some people were off camera the whole 2 days. I couldn't see them.
Really?
So there was no way I could do any.
You couldn't monitor them.
I couldn't monitor them.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not doing it online. We either have to just wait until Mark McGowan says we're back to normal, or we look at alternatives.
Right.
And a lot of my friends that I respected went down some kind of dodgy theories around COVID.
Was that us?
No.
We specialise in dodgy.
I know there were some things about COVID that I accept.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there was one woman that posted this video of a supposed nurse in America, and she said, if COVID was real and there's airborne viruses, why aren't we getting dinosaur flu? And this woman used this video as evidence
Dinosaur
of
flu?
her belief. Okay,
dinosaur flu. Okay, it's not something I'm up on.
No,
You thought you'd heard it all.
I'm reaching back.
We need
There
we need to do a show on that.
We do have a dinosaur. I mean,
well, you didn't know whether she was a nurse. There was no evidence or anything.
Of course.
So I wanted a radio station that was non-emotional, that wasn't trying to push an agenda, that was purely, these are the facts.
Sure.
And this is your opinion kind of thing. So we wanted to have opinions that we don't agree with, opinions we do agree with, but mainly about mental health side. And I think that there was a lot of talk, particularly around the Armageddon stuff around COVID, that everyone's going to die, and unless you wash your hands a zillion times, you're going to cark it.
Yep.
A lot of people ended up with skin issues with that.
There was
after
a lot
that.
of people who have OCD now. Because
Yeah.
they've linked washing your hands thoroughly with safety.
Safety.
That's right.
Isn't that- That's bad.
Safe and effective right now. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
No, look, I absolutely tip my hat to you, mate, because you guys down at IPL do, well, kind of what we do, but very differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important because we've all got a different space to fill. And I'm very passionate about mental health and trying to build people up. I think it's really, really important. So the work that you do and the fact that the training you've got, the expertise that you tap into, as I say, tip the hat to you. It's really impressive. And it's about balance, because so many of us are out there in the independent space. We all need to be a bit different.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
who would want, if you look at the commercial stations, they're so bland. They play the same music. They have the same personalities.
Yeah.
And
Same news station.
That's right.
Yeah. Half of them are run by Melbourne. We want more independent media stations that are local.
So true. So true.
Tristan, I've got a question, and this relates to mental health. Prior to being a mental health first aid trainer, what were you doing for that?
So immediately before that, I used to work in employment services.
Oh, yeah.
So I did about 5 years in that industry.
No radio industry
I've
prior
done probably
to
like a week in hospital radio.
Okay. So that's where the hospital came from.
turntables,
Yeah.
records.
Well, that's how I started, mate.
Yeah.
There we go.
So no audio experience, no radio experience.
Right.
Okay, wow.
Just like 2 o'clock in the
I
morning.
thought maybe there was something underlying prior to going, that brought that passion about. So what? So this radio station was born out of a need for you to, get it out to the masses. What made that? How did you make that shift from, going and training all these people one-on-one, basically in a group setting, to a radio station? Like, how did that happen?
I guess there's an organisation called radio.co, which is based in the UK.
Okay.
And the end part of 2019, the end part of 2019, they started advertising that you could start a radio station. So I kind of looked at it, and you know how on Facebook, if you like a post or if you look at a post,
Keeps coming up.
they keep throwing them at you.
Yes.
So everywhere I went, it was posts about radio.co. And I thought that's a nice idea, but then I just kind of sat on it for a while.
Mhm.
And it was only when COVID came out that I thought, well,
You make it sound like the latest fashion when COVID came out.
yeah,
that's
well, this is a new thing we're doing, guys. COVID, all in lockdown.
Oh,
And,
it's so today. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah. But it is, I mean, look, it was a seismic change in the world, full stop, and made so many of us look at things that we've been doing for years very, very differently.
I think there's so many, there's a lot of bad stuff about COVID, but there's a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of great stuff.
My
it
business
really is.
came out of COVID. I loved every minute of it.
Well, look at this. Look at the conversation we're having right now. This came out of COVID.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I've got some amazing human beings in my life that I would not have if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, how did you ever manage without us?
I know.
Oh.
Seriously.
I'm not going to lie, life was a bit easy. But yeah.
A bit too bland, you
Yeah,
need
no,
spice.
right, that's right. But for me, and I mean, I know you've half answered this, but I'm going to ask you again in a different way.
I feel like a politician. didn't answer it right the first time, so you're going to hit me again.
Why did you visit that matter? No. Why radio?
He's very red.
Yeah, he is.
I know, we've done an event this morning. I was supposed to wear hats, and so I'm a bit sunburned. Why radio?
As a medium, right? Why radio?
I mean, I guess radio just took off. Like, initially it was radio, was it podcast, was it video podcast? We were looking at all of them. A friend of mine was selling his video camera, so we ended up with a whole pile of equipment for cheap. But then radio.co was doing the whole radio thing, and I've always loved radio as for its intimacy, you know. With TV, you can see what people look like. There's no imagination.
Yes,
to it.
yes.
So with radio, your listener is listening one-on-one with you.
Now, you've just nailed it. So for myself, I mean, my radio career started in 1990. And then many years later with regional staff and all sorts of carry on. But then I found myself later in life at the West Australian Academy of Radio, and it was described to me this way, and I love this. Theatre of the mind. Okay, just a simple thing. And the fact that it is a one-to-one medium, you are speaking to just one person. Well, that's certainly the way I like to express myself. So, no, I know. I think
that's why we get on so well. Like,
yeah.
We might do radio differently. We might have different perspectives and different...
Yeah, I'm right, you're wrong. I understand. Yeah.
But, I guess our love of radio is both. It's the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like picture books and reading a book, Aaron. Do you read books, Aaron?
I colour them in. Oh dear. But no, it's great to hear that, because it's so true. I think that, I mean, we do video. Well, people are watching this video right now. That and video has its place. But to me,
they're coming for you.
Yeah,
They're
about 10 times a day. But for me, like we're here in a podcast studio right now, but in the other room is our purely radio studio. And when I get in there, it's a different level of intimacy, and I love it. So I can understand.
Especially when people are wearing headphones, you're going straight into their brain.
Yeah.
And there's that connection that people often feel with.
We started out just radio.
Yes, we do.
At this show, started out just radio. And I remember Lisa having a real affinity to going, no, I don't want to sit on the couch and just sit there and talk and have the video in our face. But it has changed. It's changed, hasn't it? And I think things are changing. So it's nice to be able to have all of it.
Well, that's it. We've got our cake and eating it too.
Pick and choose. We've got all of it.
You've done one show.
Yeah.
But then you multi-package it, and
that's right. Well, right now, I mean, there's people all over the world who are listening right now on their radio, on their phone or on their speaker, whatever the case may be, to what we're doing. They're not looking at our mugs; they're actually listening to it. So it's a great ththing. We can sort of multi-level it. Yeah.
So, Tris, for our listeners, just explain to us the shows that you have that are on IPL.
Yeah.
And because you specialize in mental health. So do you have people with disabilities doing shows as well?
Yeah, probably I'd say maybe 80%, 90% of our volunteers have some form of mental health journey, disability or whatever.
Yeah. Journey's a nice word. I like that.
Hey?
I like the journey. It's a
journey,
nice,
yeah,
because we've all been touched by it a bit. Yeah.
Most people have a journey, a mental health journey in their lifetime at one time or another.
And that's why I think a lot of people do resonate with us, because I think most people, if they haven't gone through it themselves,
they know someone.
They know someone who has. It's such a big thing, and I think more people are talking about it after COVID as well. Open the doors.
So the people that you have come in and do presenting for you, are they people you train? or do they want to come in and learn, or what's the story with it?
We sometimes, we do work for the doll programs, and we get a lot of people that come in for that, and they're
Does
they're
that still
told
exist?
Sorry?
Does that still exist?
Yeah.
Work for the doll?
Yeah. We're quite unique in work for the doll space because are you familiar with work for the doll?
Yeah. Well,
about
not
20 years ago.
Not in any detail.
I didn't know
so,
it still existed.
Yeah.
well, explain to us what it is.
So it's through employment providers.
Okay.
So if you're on Centrelink, you have to do so many hours. If you've been on Centrelink for like a year or something, whatever it is, you have to do a community program to keep your benefits. And a lot of people see work for the doll as quite a negative experience. But we have so many people who they do it for like an 8-week period. And we've got a lot of people who are going back to their provider saying, can we do that again? Right. So we've got some people on their third go because they like it so much. So
that's fantastic.
Okay. So do you employ trainers for that?
We wish we would. So we do in-house training.
Yep.
We'd love to be able to, pay people, but unfortunately, as I'm sure you know, volunteer radio stations don't generate a lot of money.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I thought Centrelink would have actually.
They give us a little bit, but it's not a huge amount.
It's not enough.
But it's more
train
the benefit of getting the volunteers.
Yeah, the people power, right? Which is what we're about. So,
and like when they're not, because some of them go on air. So we've had quite a few people now who do a show, who've been with us for a while, who started through Work for the Doll. But if they're not, people who are comfortable in front of the mics, they do a lot of editing for us.
Okay.
So each show, particularly where they're talking a lot or where they're doing interviews, we then cut that up and then put up on Spotify as podcasts.
Sure.
And we get the Work for the Doll people to do that for us. So.
Okay.
Oh, geez, send them my way. Jeez, I spend so much time doing editing. It's well, yes.
Well, you don't need to edit our show.
No, not at all.
No, our show's brilliant.
That first time, why would you edit?
Yeah, that's right. All jokes aside, we don't actually edit our shows. That's probably actually I'm being a bit. We top and tail them, so we clean up the intro and the outro. But no, because I don't believe in censorship, right? So censorship, I don't want to edit. If somebody was just saying for 45 minutes, maybe you're going to trim that up. Yes. but essentially, I think, the main thing is to keep it raw because it's real, right? Yeah. And people are sick and tired. Look, I started my career in professional radio, corporate radio, whatever you want to call it. And it was like everything had to be so tight. Everything was so polished. I remember, somebody telling me, one of my PDs, one of the bosses of the station said, 1 second of dead air is your verbal warning. 2 seconds is a written warning, and 3 seconds is instant dismissal. Right?
Wow.
Okay.
They wouldn't want to work it out. Yeah.
No. But that's the kind of pressure that people are under to make sure that it's tight, and they're all worried about losing. Everybody in professional radio and commercial radio is in a constant state of worrying about losing their job. That's the environment they create.
Not a good place to work.
No, it's not.
We had a motto because when we first started, none of us had a clue what we were doing.
Yeah.
5 years later, we still don't. We're still learning, right? But we had a motto at the beginning that it's not possible to screw up at IPL.
Right.
And by having that kind of motto, we released people to be able to gamble and do stuff that they wouldn't normally do.
Risks,
with confidence that they weren't going to get in trouble. Yeah. We had one of our first audio people was deaf.
Okay.
And she was bloody good.
Yeah.
She had work around. She worked around her disability. And she could hear nuances in the audio stuff that I couldn't hear, and she was deaf.
Really?
Wow.
And that's just by saying you're free to experiment and learn.
I once worked, I'm going to take that, I'm going to raise it. I once worked with a guy on air, an announcer, who had Tourette's.
Yeah,
that was a classic. And he kept it so controlled. Again, knowing what you've got to do, knowing your own body and your own abilities. He was fantastic. Every time I turned the mic off, I got abused.
I'd love to have him on the end.
Yeah.
You need to put him on edge.
Oh, let him run. I play a song and all of a sudden, he'd tell me exactly what he thought.
Is that what Eddie Steady had?
No, that's multiple sclerosis. Was it? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
What shows? Because IPL is right across the country, isn't it?
Country and world.
And world,
online, so
okay.
Yeah.
So you would have an idea of what sort of shows would impact people the most because of feedback and views and stuff like that. So given your experience over the last 5 years, what shows have you found have had the most impact or have reached the most people?
I
Good
think the harder
question, Leanne.
conversations that we've had.
Yeah.
We've had people breaking down in tears.
Yeah.
We're talking about, the suicidal ideation and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Obviously,
okay.
we have trigger warnings and stuff.
Of course.
But we've had, some really difficult conversations.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of them because, they spoke out and,
But
people-
that's the bravery, right? That's
Yeah.
when people speak out about it and be honest about it and bring it forward. Like that is showing them to be so much stronger than they actually
Yeah.
believe they
Yeah.
are.
And how many people are you impacting?
Damn
You
straight.
have one person who talks about how he was feeling suicidal. Big bloke,
Yeah,
beard,
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You wouldn't look at him, you wouldn't tell, oh, he's depressed.
Yeah.
But he was very open. And how many guys like him, that look like him, that sound like him?
I think it all comes back to being real, because we don't know. You can put this persona up on Facebook and Instagram and, everything's
Sweet.
wonderful. But behind the scenes, every single person out there is going through something hard
course,
and challenging in life.
Yeah.
And we've had dramas. We've had people who have had struggles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, we've had a few volunteers who come together and then fall out. And then that's difficult, Then they have to do 2 separate shows or
Yep.
because you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
We try and put everyone who volunteers with us through the mental health first aid course for free. To make sure that everyone's on the same page and that we don't get any people with like backward ideas, because we have quite a few transgender people as well.
Okay.
And so we make sure that they're not going to be targeted or ridiculed for how they live their life.
Yeah. No, I understand that, mate. I mean, again, this is a great example of where, we're all filling a different, space in this space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a radio station. I think there's a media entity. I think there's something out there for everybody, and I think we should, remember that and focus.
Well, we're
on
all
that.
beings having a human experience.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
And
Be
at
in
the
the
end
right
of the day,
place for
everyone's
you.
real. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want people to be fake. We want people to be real.
Correct.
And if they're going through some stuff, if they share that, they can help other people. And that's what it's all about for us.
Got a comment that's just popped up that I'm just drawing up on the screen there. Thank you very much, Lucia. Now, collaboration is the bedrock of every teamwork that births massive achievement. That's that's a statement.
That is
right
a statement.
There. But it's true. Honestly, like together, we've got 2 radio stations here right now.
Yeah.
How often would 2 radio stations want to work together? I absolutely want to work with you because guess what? I want to collaborate so that we can make real change.
Well, that's what collaboration is the only way forward.
Agreed.
If in my opinion, in small media, because you're never going to have the backing of the mass media.
Well, we're not going to be taking money from Big Pharma, are we?
No, correct. You're not going to be taking the money and the coin from from those departments. But if you're collaborating together, you have a bigger impact. You have a wider score. You have a bigger, a bigger purpose.
But we do have a certain type of healing which you might want to just
look at
segue
you
into
go,
that now.
segue beautifully. Let's take a quick little break to have a little healing. Panacea Healing.
Is pain holding you back? Bowen Therapy with Panacea Healing can change that for you. It's never too late to recharge your health, career, or purpose. You have the power within yourself to change what no longer serves you, taking your life and health to another level. panaceahealing.com.au. You can do anything.
Hello and welcome back to the One Thing on Edge Radio Australia. You are listening with our very good friend here, Trystram from IPL Radio, and we have our co-hosts, Aaron, Lisa, and myself, Leanne, and we're all back on the seat. So we've been talking about IPL Radio, Edge Radio Australia, collaboration and everything grand that's going to happen in this space.
Everything grand.
I think it is.
That sounds really
really
cool.
Grand.
I
Somebody
think
write
it
that down.
is.
I've always wanted to be grand.
I think it is because who else has the opportunity to make change if it's doesn't start with us?
That's so true. And
You know?
grassroots is incredibly important, right? This is the thing. Look, I remember like working in radio over time or even some TV stuff and that, and you're not even allowed to talk at that the existence of another station.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's ridiculous.
So controlling, isn't it?
Isn't it? Oh, yeah. Look,
Jeez.
if people knew,
we don't
honestly,
like control.
what happens inside a radio station, or, I mean, I don't know, I've done very little TV, but the TV that I've done, it's incredibly controlling.
You'd make a really fun fat cat.
Yes, and
Who
no.
said this ain't a suit, baby? Come on. Hey, look, I like to wear pants. So I can't be fat cat. I was more a bit of a flapper back in my day, but
I
anyway.
thought it was Humphrey the Bear.
Oh, Humphrey.
Oh,
There you go.
Humphrey.
There we go. Gee,
He's
we've
a
covered them all.
Yeah.
All right.
He's not a pussy cat. He's a big bear.
All right. Well, now that we've embarrassed the hell out of me, let's move on. But it's
You did
true.
miss us, didn't you?
Like a hole in the head, like I said. No, it's wonderful to have the whole team in. It really genuinely is. But that whole attitude of pretending that the opposition doesn't exist is ridiculous. You're not opposition. That's the main thing. We cater for a lot of crossover. Let's be honest. There'll be a lot of people who listen to a lot of our stuff that crosses over.
I think our passion is the same,
Yeah.
and the media is the same, but we have different styles, different people that we target, kind of thing. And I've talked to a few other radio stations in WA, more online ones.
Sure.
And there's a radio station in Wales that started around the same time as us. So we've done some collaboration with them at Premier. It's Premier Radio.
Yeah, no, I know them. Yeah.
He's doing some really cool stuff, and they've just moved into building up government grants and stuff. So it's really cool. The whole online radio station thing isn't just like a couple of us kind of weirdos.
Oh, no.
We can do that. It feels to me
There's
like a whole
lots of
movement.
weirdos,
That FM is going out of fashion. A lot of people now listen to radio online digitally. And I think that's where the future is. I think FM in maybe 20 years' time won't be a thing.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this. There was actually a plan to actually wind FM down to about 10% of what it is now. That was going to be done back in the, I can't remember the exact year, to be honest, but 21, 22, sort of that around that territory. So there was that plan. So before actually the Great Woo Flu arrived, producer, Rami, who was a mate of mine, who was a producer here at 96 FM, and he's now a producer for Heezy in the East Coast. I just want to say Heezy. But anyway, he said to me one day, he goes, "Oh, Aaron, we talked about this. He goes, get yourself organised with a commercial. Sorry, with a license, because that's what the plan was, and obviously COVID changed those plans.
Yeah.
But look at the emergence of all these fantastic stations.
It's amazing online radio stations out there.
There's something for everyone.
And I really like the ones. From what I've seen, there's two types of radio station. There's type like ours and yours, where they've got a studio and people come in and present. And then there's some where they just basically do it from home and they just bring in different podcasts. But sources, of course, and there's so many different types of radio stations that it's not just the traditional FM.
I couldn't do it from home. I'd have to clean the house.
No.
I mean,
we did our first kind of broadcast for probably our first few weeks was in someone's house, in his bedroom, and he set up an Apple iPad thing and a PC. I don't know how he did it, all cables and everything. That Anzac Day was our first day of broadcasting.
Wow.
There you go.
And
we had the same experience as far as, Edge was born out of actually trying to, I had a couple of young people come to me and said, we can't get training anywhere. Actually, this angers me a bit. A couple of, there's two, community radio stations refused to let these people on air who wanted to create a career, right? What do you think the community station's for? Okay, it's to bring out new
talent. I know
talent.
there's one where they do a how to be a radio presenter.
Yep.
You have to do that course in order to become a presenter on their
That's
channel. And they charge
isn't it?
a lot of money for that course.
There you go. There you go. That's surprising.
And they're community radio.
Community radio. Right. Well, there you go.
Is that Fremantle?
Well, that's what I was going to ask Tristan earlier, is if people want to come and have a go at being a presenter on your radio station, what's the protocol? What do they do?
So they just send us an email, come in and see us, and then we first start with an interview. So we get them in to do an interview, just to get their first kind of see what it's like to be on air. And then the next level, we get them to co-host. So we get them to do a 3-hour co-hosting with someone. And then we put them through the training. And then depending on where they're at in terms of their confidence level, if they're gung-ho and they want to start, then we work out schedule when they're free. Otherwise, they might be co-hosting for a few weeks just to feel like
Do you have people that are business owners that come in and then also do their own little shows and stuff like that?
Yeah,
or?
so we've got Carlos and Josh do a show on Monday afternoon called the Property Bros.
Okay.
And they're both in property. So
Right.
one's a buyer, one's a seller.
Yep.
And so they bring in a lot of guests to talk about real estate and buying houses and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we have other people who have, a business name that becomes their show name and they kind of promote that. So
good on them. That's,
Yeah.
it's a
Do you
great way.
still have kids doing shows?
yes, so our youngest is 8.
Oh,
he's
that is so cool.
Damn cool.
He's amazing and he's homeschooled.
Okay,
And
cool.
his mum, she's pretty savvy. She basically gets him to research what he's going to talk about in his show, and then she uses that to match the curriculum. So she's using his show
That's
as
smart.
part of his education,
That's
and it's
brilliant.
a fun. Like he plays their music and stuff. He enjoys it.
What do 8-year-olds listen to?
Actually, no. I tell a lie. He's 10 now. I think he was
Oh, he's a veteran.
8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was corrected by that the other day. So I think he's 10. But we actually got a slot on the couch with Fred Africa.
Yeah.
So
great.
him and his mum were talking about the show, which is cool.
It's good to see
Oh,
Fred still
fantastic.
kind of, I was about to say still about, because he
Who-
kind of
who is
disappears
it?
for a bit on the couch program, which is, back in the days of, was it Channel 31 or?
Yeah, so I think they've got a contract now with Foxtel, so he puts it on Foxtel and on his YouTube channel and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's been really supportive of us over the
Oh,
years.
wow,
so
that's amazing.
any kind of volunteers that want to go on, he'll interview them.
That's brilliant.
So,
Absolutely brilliant, mate.
yeah.
No, this is what we're saying. I mean, this is a great way of people getting into the industry, and this could be it could be an apprenticeship. It could also be, you have a taste and go, this isn't for me.
It's a starting block. And we've got people on Curtin FM, on Freo, on Bustleton, all over. We got one guy that went over to Melbourne to find fame. He was such a loss. He was such an amazing
That's
person.
cool. Well, great to hear that. Well, I actually have said this to people in the past, like I can't wait to say goodbye to you because, like it means if you're moving on to a bigger, better thing or whatever, I don't think there's anything better than each, but you want to, especially when we're talking about young people, like mentoring is so important to me. I really think it's a great way to, I never want to see the back of you. Off you go and just create great
It's such an amazing feeling that when you see someone in the first time and they're a bag of nerves, and then after a year or so, they're so confident that they get a job at Fremantle or Bustleton or whatever, and they've got their own show on a FM station. That's the kind of thing that we don't know that we're birthing the next, next famous
Fred
celebrity.
Boddicker? I don't know. It's look, very, very true. And something I also want to mention is we keep talking about being on air as presenters. That with radio, with any kind of broadcasting, the people behind the scenes that are doing the work behind the scenes are incredibly important.
Yeah.
So just a little shout out. We need a producer in that room right there who can, play with buttons and toggles for us. If anybody wants to do that, for yourself or for us, we're obviously here in Mount Lawley or down in Rockingham. If you live there, that would be great.
If you want to learn.
Oh, you want to learn?
It's a great place to learn.
Absolutely, right? Because there are so many great roles. Like I was talking about my mate before at 96, and he's gone on to have this amazing career. Now, is he on the air? No. But he's got this fantastic career where he's touching lives, making a difference.
He doesn't have to be on the air.
No.
He's behind the scenes.
And the people are more comfortable with that than schools. Horses for courses. If you want to be on air and you've got the personality to drive that show and make it interesting, go for it. But if you're not at that level, and we often say when we get people in and we say, do you want to have your own show? We get 3 reactions. We've got hell yes, hell no, or maybe. And probably 80% would say maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But and they just watch for a while. It's quite funny. They kind of just watch the studio and everyone having fun.
Yeah.
There's a good vibe.
Yeah.
And then one day they'll be like, oh, actually, I wouldn't mind giving it a go now.
Do you know what? It never feels like you're being videoed or you're on radio, or it feels like you're having a conversation and you're talking with people on the couch. That's what
we
this
tell
is.
everyone.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
Ignore the
I
cameras.
just want to let everyone know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's there's no need for confidence and all that sort of stuff. You just get on and you start asking questions and you start talking and you start interacting with people, and that's what it's all about. It's communication, right?
Completely agree.
And another big thing I want to talk about just quickly, because I know we're going to be out of time before we even know it. How can Edge Radio Australia, we've got both of you sitting here, and IPL Radio Australia work together? What does that look like, and how will that work?
Well, we were thinking of taking your radio station over.
Yes.
Renaming it IPL Edge.
Wait, notice how you put IPL first.
I did notice that.
No, I think we'd love to work with you guys more.
100%.
I don't know
How do you
looks
see
like.
that happening?
Well,
What do you think?
Leanne, that's why we've got dinner afterwards.
Oh, no.
there you go. Right, apparently there's a plan I don't know about, but there we go. No,
That's what I mean. How do you interact? Do we get more people involved to keep this, keep our voice heard above all the noise?
Well, here's what I was going to put forward, okay? And I want to thank you for the opportunity. You've got a wonderful magazine that you're putting out, which will actually have a feature in there. So,
beautiful.
With that feature, you'll be
I
able
should have bought a copy. As you know.
Sorry, we've got one in the other room.
I have got a copy.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to collaborate with those sorts of things. Now, that's a wonderful way of you introducing your audience to Edge, right? Okay, and we want to do the same sort of thing with your audience. So, we're different places geographically, although let's face it, we go all around the world.
Absolutely.
But also we've got, because of the shows we do, because of the styles of things, well, perhaps we've got an audience that you don't, and vice versa. So people will see things that they like, and they're
be really interesting.
People want to
Exactly.
see collaboration as well.
Yeah, that's right.
You mentioned before about the traditional stations where they don't even want to admit there's another radio station.
That's right.
It's ludicrous.
It is,
right?
Yeah, it is ludicrous.
But we want to be able to work with online. One thing I would really love to see down the track is some form of online radio station group.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
NWA.
awesome.
It really would be.
There's so many out there, and they're all just doing their own battle.
Yeah.
If we could get together and then go to the CBAA and say we want some kind of recognition.
Yeah. Well,
CBAA is not just them, but just being able to.
Why couldn't you create your own organisation?
We absolutely could.
You don't need other people's approval. You just go ahead and create it.
Yeah.
Lisa knows all about creation from the ground up.
Yeah,
You've done it yourself.
Thanks.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We have the ability to do it.
True.
It's having the vision, isn't it? I wanted to ask you about your dad's involvement. I know the few times I've been to the studio, your dad's been there. He's an elderly gentleman.
He's 81 next month.
Yeah. So what's been his involvement?
He's 100% on board. So we're both directors of the organisation.
Yep.
We have a third director. His background bookkeeping, so he's done that. But we've been talking since we started about doing a show together.
Okay.
And we've recently set up a podcast room. So like some of it will be the radio and some of it we're doing pre-recorded.
Sure.
My dad's confidence isn't at the level where he feels comfortable with live radio. So we're hoping that we can work something together, pre-recorded, and then put it out.
Yeah.
What would the show be called? Father and Son?
I don't know. He's really into country music and like really not country music that is mainstream.
Oh yeah,
kind of people have never heard of before. So he wanted to do a show where he kind of plays a lot of his country stuff.
Right.
So I think that would be cool.
He's a nice fella. I've met him a couple of times.
Doing stuff that he never got time. So.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, running the books for the station's a very important job, I would imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how many mental health courses are you doing now?
At the moment, probably about 2 a month.
Okay. Well, still,
so it's gone down quite a lot. Occasionally we get, contacts from companies that want me to do a few courses for them.
All right.
Up and down.
Yeah, you've got great facilities down there. We've obviously been down there as well and had a look, and you've got a room for everything. My word. But it is great, and also you've got some live acts that will be.
So a new thing, we got some funding from Black Dog, right?
Yeah.
So they gave us a really cool mixer, and we're just putting cabling through the walls, so that we can have live bands performing, and that's something that we really want to.
He's very, very, very cool.
Do a lot in the future.
Yeah.
Because if you're a young musician, young band, and you want to get yourself out there, where'd you go?
Maybe that's something you can stream through both.
Well, it's absolutely with something we can stream through because I'm quite passionate about. I want to
I
build
know
up.
you are.
Yeah, WA artists just don't get heard. And we do a show here at the West Coast Cooler, which is just nothing but WA music, right? And artists of all different types. And it is fantastic. And every time I listen to the old West Coast Cooler, I think to myself, man, that's good. Jeez, that's like, why are these guys not the In Excesses of the world, right? I know In Excess is old. I get that. But so am I. It's my favourite band, so it's okay. But yeah, so the fact that you've done this and you've got this new room for that is fantastic. I did see the mixer. It did look like it should belong in the Starship Enterprise. Like,
I know. The hard part is trying to understand all the little knobs and faders and stuff. It's we're going to have to work on that one.
Lots of lights, lots of buzzers,
Yeah.
Everything flickers. It's pretty exciting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
we're
very
pretty
much
proud of it.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for IPL?
Well, hopefully more volunteers. We've got a couple of show gaps, so we want to fill that. So we want to be live pretty much all the time. I'd like to be live in the morning as well, from midnight till 6. But obviously, we'd have to find some people who can't sleep for that one. That would be a good
well, you got one here.
I could do that.
Yeah. So getting more people, growing, getting more money would be good. But people knowing who we are.
Yeah.
And the magazine as well.
Yeah.
Printing more copies of that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. The newest one's not out though, is
not
it?
yet.
No,
We're still working on that one.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be out the first week of October.
Yeah.
But we're a bit behind. We're chasing people for stuff and copies and stuff.
And, details and kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, mate, look, I'm so impressed with what you're doing because I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
We can certainly identify on that one because it's, we talk about the money side of things. This is a struggle, right?
Yeah.
Everything is, it's hand to mouth all the time to keep something like this alive. So, and I really hope people understand the hours that are put behind. This is a big effort, and you're very lucky to have such wonderful volunteers. It's a great thing. But also, the volunteers are very lucky to have an opportunity somewhere to have a voice, right? So everybody wins is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I think so too. Like, we're so blessed to have some really amazing volunteers who do shows that have meaning.
Yeah.
And, our personality is what makes us different to, the traditional stuff.
Yeah.
We've got people with autism that do a show, with cerebral palsy that do a show, people with mental health that do a show, people, like I said, trans people that do shows about transgender and, some of the issues that they face. So, we've got a lot of diversity. We go from 8 or 10 to, I think the oldest one is probably about 70, late 70s.
Yeah, wow.
So, there's a lot of diversity in age and backstory as well.
So the ones that come on and do the shows, do any of them pay to be on?
No, we were told at the beginning. We had a mentor, and he said, you charge your volunteers, you charge your guests, and we said we don't want to be like that. We want to be able to be free at I was sound like the NHS now, free at point of service. But that's what we want. We don't want to charge.
So you
people.
Rely on grants and funding.
So we rely on grants. We rely on millionaires that have some, couple of thousand to give away.
Yeah.
If there's any millionaires out there.
You haven't.
I don't
met
waiting.
We're all dying waiting for those millionaires.
Millionaires.
Yeah.
Mind you, a millionaire is not much these days.
No. I was just saying that earlier. I was looking at houses with my son, and $1 million doesn't get you much these days for a house. And it's like, whoa, this is just ridiculous.
But for those who there might be people who are.
But we won't snub $1 million.
No,
Not saying that.
That would be nice.
It wouldn't be a problem. Absolutely. But for those who want to contribute in life, and maybe you want to keep freedom of speech alive, maybe you've got a passion for mental health issues like that, then it's very nice for you to contribute. That would be a fantastic thing. So
keep the voice alive.
That's right.
Voice of the people.
But it's not just financial. Like, we did an event this morning. We had 4 of our volunteers going out doing interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
We do Bunnings sausage sizzle to raise money, so we have people doing that. So what we say to people is we want you to give back something. Yeah. Because it is it's not a right to have a show. It's a
privilege.
A privilege.
Privilege, absolutely.
And it costs a lot of money. We don't pay.
Just for the record, I'm not doing a Bunnings sausage sizzle.
It's quite fun.
I will.
It's quite fun.
I think it'd be fun.
It's quite fun.
You can sell the drinks, Lisa.
Yeah. But we just, we just ask people to give back. We don't ask for money because a lot of our volunteers are struggling.
Yep.
Like anyone at the moment.
Yes.
But we say, if you can help with marketing, or if you can, come in and do some editing or something just to give back. It's just maybe your time.
Yep.
That's
Well,
what
your
I mean.
time is very valuable. And
Yeah.
it's, when people give that, I think it's kind of the truest
And we appreciate
indication
it.
of them.
Every 5 minutes that people give us is
Yeah.
not 5 minutes we demand, So
Yeah, I think it's also been proven, hasn't it, from a mental health perspective, that contribution is what makes a huge difference.
and it's a family vibe,
Yeah.
like you guys have.
Yeah.
It's not just coming and doing your show. It's being involved with people and
It's having
making
dinner
friends.
afterwards
Yeah.
with our guests.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I can certainly speak for us, and I get that same vibe when we've been down at events at your place at IPL. We're a family. We care about each other. And not just when the cameras are on or the mics are open. We care about each other, and I think so much of community has been lost. And as somebody who has actually I've been operations manager of stations before, and even community stations, and they don't have a sense of community. And you think this, I remember meeting some announcers that I had and went, like, they said, "Oh, but I've worked here for 3.5 years. I've never met the manager before."
Wow.
And you go, how is that possible? So
Wow.
I think we're touching upon something. It's pretty bloody
We're
special.
privileged because we've got him sitting in our couch
No.
with us.
I don't know what to say to that. Except, hey, it's the end of the show. Look at that.
It goes too quickly.
It
doesn't
really
It
flies
does.
by,
It
mate.
always does.
That's
So-
one thing we tell everyone, because they do 3-hour shows, and like once you do your first 5 minutes, it's over. It's over as soon as
Yeah.
You do 3-hour shows.
3-hour shows. Yeah.
Woo!
No
I
wonder
don't think
they
our
did
viewers
editing.
would like that.
Yeah, but you stop for music and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
As
So
we do with our music
it
on
kind of
the radio.
50-50. So it's like probably about an hour and a half of talking.
Yep.
And then the rest of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it flies. You did it. You remember how quickly it went? It just
Yes.
because you're enjoying yourself.
Yes.
It's a tough
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to get hold of you, okay, where can they find you, my friend?
So we're on all the socials, Facebook. We've got a page and a group on Facebook.
Okay.
We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. You can email us, info@iplradio.org.au. You can message us. Can I give my phone number out? Or
Absolutely.
Oh, mate, look,
Really?
go for it.
you've got some dodgy listeners that are going to stalk you.
No, it's just
Actually,
Lisa.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice
so-
your phone number was on the back of the magazine.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm a
Yeah.
JP as well, so my number's all over the website.
Oh,
So
okay,
I can't really
yeah.
get away from that.
Yeah.
But my number's 046 777 1416.
Oh, that
Right.
number again.
046 777 1416.
Oh,
And
I probably
on
had
that-
some paperwork needed signing. Geez.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We know where to go.
Just want to thank you, mate, for being here. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's
been
Thank you for
wonderful.
coming in and gracing the couch.
And we're looking forward to having you down at IPL again
Oh,
sometime.
I had a lot of fun last time. It was fiery, it was spicy. I enjoyed it very
Well,
much.
we've got the local council elections coming up, so
Oh,
maybe that will be the next one.
Boom.
Absolutely. Well, actually, funny enough, one of your locals actually has come to us and was talking about that very thing. We popped out a show for him as well. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So, check it out, basically, is what it comes down to. I think that it's so important that we get behind local elections.
Yeah.
These people, and you want the people, in my opinion anyway, vote for the people who live in your area and are part of the community, people who actually care about it, people, grassroots people who know what the mortgage pressure, the rent pressure, the price of groceries, those pressures, because they're the people
And
who
do some research. I mean, don't just look at the faces. Read the bios. Read what they're about. Go on there. Google them. Go on Facebook, and see what they stand for.
Completely
There's
agree.
some that only turn up at election time and then you never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you definitely
You
don't,
don't
want
want
that.
them.
All right, anybody has any last thoughts before I hit the old button?
No, I think it's just been a great segment. Thank you
Yes.
for coming.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks for having us.
Trish.
Absolute
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Thanks for being part of the One Thing here on Edge Radio Australia.
Ever felt lost online finding the right businesses?
Absolutely, like a needle in a haystack.
Introducing the Worldwide Awake Business Directory.
Tell me more.
It's your hub for businesses sharing your values. Discover eco-friendly products, socially responsible services, and more.
Count me in. I'll check it out straight away.
Find businesses aligned with your values on the Worldwide Awake Business Directory. Start making a difference with every purchase.